Hi, this is Bert Robinson, and since the last time I've seen you, we've made a few changes. The corporate core is now empowering people. And with that change, I'm rolling out a new program called Talents and Change. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's the struggle that is optional. And what I've found over the years as I've worked with businesses, individuals, teams, is that our talents have a lot to do with how we navigate through change. Why some of us thrive, why some of us struggle, and why some of us need a little help adapting. So change is always happening, whether it's things at work, leadership transitions, or new things in our family. Even the background of this video, change is going to happen. But understanding how our talents adapt to them and adjust to them can really be freeing. So we're going to go through each quadrant and look at how they can thrive and struggle with change. We'll start with reflect. There are 12 reflect talents, and as I've worked with people, companies, teams over the years, I see that some of them adapt a little quicker to change. For instance, people with the Ranger, they're looking at all the different possibilities, potentials, options. They're arranging, reconfiguring people, resources, solutions. People with connectedness, that spiritual talent that takes a holistic view of things. They're looking at how the past, present, and future can work together. They're looking at how old ways and new ways can come together. So we see that sometimes people with connectedness can adapt a little quicker during transition when things are being overhauled in their world. People with futuristic, they're looking at all the different future possibilities. What's the change going to bring in terms of new products, new people, new visions? Ideation. These are the people that are very creative, and change means there's going to have to be a different way of doing things, new ideas, innovations, products, creativity. Ideation can really thrive. And the thing that you might want to remember is that connectedness, futuristic, and ideation, they have more of a right brain dynamic, more outside the box thinking. And when change comes, many times we're forced to think outside the box. Now, learners. Learners thrive on that. And so once they get their learner, taking new input, taking in new content, new knowledge, they will begin to see the change as something that can be positive. So all 5 of these talents are what I call the early adapters. Now, they can be affected by other talents that we have in our top 5, but typically they're going to do a little bit better or adapt a little quicker to change in life. That leads us to the next category, eventual adapters. These talents might take a little bit more time to adjust. People with input, we know that they're collecting facts, data, information. It's that variety that they like of learning new things or just having new collections of input. But if that change now requires them to redirect to a new collection, so to speak, of what they need to input from, that can be a little disruptive. People with strategic, you've heard me share how strategics look at problems like a maze. They start at the end and they work their way back. Well, if change brings about a new maze, it can be frustrating for people with strategic to realize that the destination has been changed and that they're in the wrong maze. A few months ago, one of my vendors changed their network platform. And after several weeks of calling customer service and complaining and trying to get them to go back to the old way, like they were going to do that, I realized that the maze that I used to be in had collapsed. It didn't exist anymore. Once I moved to the new ways of doing things and a new endpoint, things got much better. So input strategic might need a little bit of time to adjust, to adapt to the changes. The last category for reflect talents and change are the later adapters. These might take a little bit more time to come around. People with analytical, they want the facts, they want the details, they want the data points, and they want to gather that and know that things have been thought through in a very thorough fashion. They're going to question things because they want to know. People with consistency, they have their routine. And if the new change is going to create new systems, new routines, that is going to be disrupting for them. So it might take them a little while longer to adjust to the new world order. People with context, they're looking at the past to get grounding for the present. But if things change a lot, they don't have that past to look at. They don't have any context. So these people will have to create a new grounding in the new and different environment that they haven't formerly known. Now, people with deliberative, they want to avoid risk. They're thinking, what can go wrong? They know Murphy's second law is out there to bite them. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So they want to make sure that we've considered all the different risks before proceeding forward. So because of that, deliberative can sometimes have their heels in the ground before they want to step in to the new change, the new environments that we're asking them to join us in. The intellection talent, well, at the end of the day, they want to process it deeply. They need to have time to think about it. One of the things that helps these 5 talents with change is the more we can help them prime the pump to anticipate and contemplate and think about what's coming down the road, the better they will do in making those adjustments sooner rather than later. So these 5 talents are the later adapters. And that is typically how we see the reflect talents in and of themselves adapt or adjust to change.